All right, guys, we're going hard for Harima. Hello, everyone. Bront CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and I do want to wish you all a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Hope your day is getting better if it's not going well so far. I am back from vacation finally, and it has been a bit of a weird week, so there has not been a lot of videos for me this week, but you know what? I should be back to making at least 2 non-shard pull videos a week starting next week. So, that should be fun. Again, I'm looking forward to you guys. Hopefully, what I'm doing is for you is entertaining, is helpful, and I definitely appreciate all you guys. And if you haven't, do appreciate the likes, the subscribes, and all the positive comments. You guys are awesome, and honestly, I do this because you guys are a great community. So, with that said, we have a blue portal here. I don't know what a shortle is. We have, oops, it looks like I need to make 1 champion worth of room, so give me just 1 second. I'll be right back because I have 150 shards to pull for Harima, who is on a 10x, in addition to the 2x we have right here. Now, I do have Harima. I've got 2 Harimas, in fact. I've got 2 Harimas on both accounts, but Harima is a champion that I would like to empower because she is an amazing, amazing champion, and I use her all over the place on both of my accounts. I use her in Arena, I use her in Doom Tower, I would use her in Hydra. I've got all kinds of fun uses for her. She is absolutely amazing. And so I'm looking forward to getting more of them and empowering them because she is just such an awesome champion. So let me make 1 more room and we'll be right back in just a second. All right, and we are back and we've got room for 150. So we are going to do 10 pulls in Ancients. We are looking for Harima. We have the Good Luck Pepsi juice here. Unfortunately, not a sponsor. Pepsi, you can fix that. But we're going to get something fun. Hopefully, we're going to get a couple Legos. 150, I don't know where I am with Mercy on this account, but I'm pretty sure the 150, there's a good chance of me getting at least 1 legendary, if not more. And again, with the empowering epics, great epics are always worth pulling now. So, at least until I max out all my empowerments. So, let's get pulling. We're doing this in 10 pulls. Let's go. All right, it is all blue. We're starting off with rare text. Awesome, Polarium. That is what we're looking for. That's going to bring in the crowds, and that's going to please everybody that's pulling shards. Not really. Not really anything super exciting in here. Other than Ingrid, I guess, isn't too bad, I guess. But, you know, nothing super exciting. So let's keep pulling. There's an epic. I wanted to like Armina, and I built Armina on my main. I booked her out. I built her pretty well. And honestly, I like War Maiden better than Armina. Mostly because she's easier to build, easier to book. And honestly, Armina doesn't really bring as much damage as I was kind of expecting her to bring compared to War Maiden. So, you know, not a huge fan of Armina. Not bad, but because War Maiden is so accessible and easy to build, I would not bother with an Armina. I would build a War Maiden instead. Otherwise, nothing super exciting here. Kunoichi, I guess, isn't too bad for Faction Wars. We're looking for something more exciting than that. Come on, we want some cool epics. We want some legendaries. Caden is a pretty decent reviver, at least as far as the epics are concerned for Dark Elves. I've actually never built a Caden because I did not have a Caden for the longest time until after I got Lydia on my main. And on my alt here, I was pretty far along and I had Mithrala before I needed a Caden. So that worked pretty well too. But he's a pretty decent reviver. Alrighty. We can do a little better than we have. Vala, not particularly exciting. Not a particularly exciting shard pull video so far. But you know what? You got to pull a lot of them. You know, got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, that sort of thing. So, let's keep going. Come on, we're looking for gold. I mean, Barath is not horrible. He actually can do some pretty decent damage. So if you need some damage, and honestly, Barbarians is one of the factions that's actually difficult to do damage in because a lot of the good champions don't do a lot of damage. War Maiden can hit okay, but not great. Syl is good. Kaikatoon is decent and can hit okay, but not a damage dealer. So you could do worse than building a Barath, the Blood-Soaked, for damage in Faction Wars. And because you don't need a lot to deal with Barbarians. So. Infernal Baroness, not particularly exciting. Zargala is actually pretty good. She can do an awful lot of damage, and she does bring the decreased defense as well. Because she hits so hard, I'd probably build her more like a pure damage dealer than an actual debuffer, particularly if you've got a Duck the Pierced, who's a better debuffer because it's a 100%. Zargala is actually pretty decent because she's got... This is attacks 2 times and has a 75% chance on each hit. So it's pretty reliable, but it's not 100% reliable. So... but she hits for a lot of damage, and so I'd probably build her for more for damage than I would for anything else, but she's actually a pretty decent champion for an epic. Tarshan, I've never been a huge fan. Royal Guard is amazing. That is a definite empowerment. I've got 2 of them built. I recommend probably having 2 of them because they can be useful in Hydra. Dark Helhane is not too bad. I probably will empower 1. I don't use Dark Helhane much, but she can do some decent damage, and you get her for free. So if you need some damage in Undead, you could do worse than a Dark Helhane. And honestly, she can be decent in Arena for some of the early to mid-game Arena stuff. Oop, there's a legendary, and that is a Urgrim Wormeater. Or Ygir Wormeater. I do not have a Ygir. I skipped this fusion. I believe he was a fusion. Let's take a look and see what he does. So, new champion's always cool. I don't think he was great, but, you know, new champion for free. Oh, well, not for free, but obviously I'll take it. Attacks 1 enemy, 80% chance of stealing a random buff from the enemy, bookable 100, and a 80% chance of placing block buffs on the enemy for 2 turns, bookable to 100. It's not amazing, but not bad. And a single turn block buffs can be useful against some bosses, actually, or single target, I should say. And the chance of stealing random buff, you know, can be decent, especially against boss enemies. Attacks all enemies, 75% chance, bookable to 100, removing all buffs from enemies. Strippage is nice. That has a chance of placing weaken. So he attacks, does weaken, and removes buffs. Not bad. It's a very Madame Ceres-esque ability, other than Madame Ceres does decrease defense, which is probably a little better, but, you know, they're kind of close. And she also does the decrease attack as well, and she does not attack, which means she can't weak hit on it as well. This is an HP-based thing, so hopefully maybe he'll actually do a little bit of damage, but it's only a single hitter and no extra attacks. HP hitters usually either need insane multipliers or extra attacks to really do a ton of damage. Even some of the best ones are just okay with damage if they're not getting some of their specials in. Finally, places a 50% increase accuracy buff on all allies for 2 turns. It's not bad. Increase defense buffs on allies who retire, or increase attack. This is not bad. It's not great. It is a 3-turn cooldown. Increase accuracy is okay, but it's kind of hard to build teams reliant on increased accuracy, although it's very useful for things like the Frost Spider, where getting enough accuracy to deal with that boss can be difficult at sometimes. It also could be good for people struggling against the higher levels of like Iron Twins or the Sand Devil or the Shogun. Increased accuracy could be very helpful there as well, so that's not too bad. And overall, increased defense and increased attack are both decent buffs, particularly for people that are... The increased defense is going to be good on defensive-based champions. They're damage dealers, as well as HP champions. They're probably more likely to have higher defense, and supports. They get the defensive buff as well. Meanwhile, your attack champions are going to get the increased attack, which means they'll do more damage. I can't complain about that too much. And this is right, he's the anti-revive champion. So whenever an enemy is revived, instantly activates his Earth Puncture, which is the buff strip. And if they are revived by the lizard... If revived from the Lizardman faction, Earth Puncture cannot be resisted. That's kind of cool. Instantly activates Earth Puncture, will not place the skill on cooldown. If there are multiple champions in this skill, only one will process. It's got a 2-turn cooldown. You can book it down to 1, so only do it once per turn. Yeah, he's okay. I mean, Earth Puncture is decent. It might be nice to strip some buffs off, because it means that champions that get revived, like a Duchess, revives everybody, puts a veil on them, he immediately strips the veil. And puts weaken on them. So from that perspective, that's not bad. Is he an amazing champion? No. Will I build him on this account? Honestly, I'm not sure. I'd have to see a place I might want to use him. If I find out that he's actually going to be useful in a Centranos, then maybe I might pull him for that Centranos floor. But otherwise, I don't see a immediate use for him on this account. So kind of unfortunate, but he's not horrible. Definitely will be useful on an earlier mid-game account because the strip can be very nice in both arena and non-arena. This doesn't suck. Block buffs can be very useful, particularly against champions like a Leorius or a Skullcrown, who will put unkillable on themselves when they're about to die. You block the buffs, they don't get the unkillable, they just die. And, you know, the buffs, not too bad. So, you know, he's new, so I am not going to complain too much, but we're looking for something cooler. How many do we have left? We have 70 left, so there's actually a decent shot. We might get another legendary. About 70, you average about 80 on average to get a legendary when it is a 2x. So we'll see if we can beat the odds and get another legendary on this account. This time maybe we'll even get a Harima. Rearguard Sergeant, okay for Clan Boss. Juliana, a very good Clan Boss damage dealer now since the buff. That is good. Soulbound Boyer is a great rare. She is really good in a lot of the rare teams because there's a rare spirit-only room, and then there's a couple of other rare secret rooms in Doom Tower, and she has an AoE A1. And then, honestly, she's got some decent other abilities as well. She's got a turn meter reduction and one that does a ton of damage. But honestly, the A1, where she can hit everybody, you stick a couple of them in stun gear, maybe even put masteries on them to get the additional 5% with stun. And they'll constantly be A1ing if they're really fast. You don't need to build them with anything else, although if you build up some damage, it helps wear things down. They can hit okay for damage. Very, very good champions overall. Master Butcher is very good as a substitute for a Vogoth against Bommel, and he is a great Bommel champion as well. He can be very good for compression as well. So definitely, if you have a Master Butcher, keep at least one of them, and I would recommend building one up to 50 or 60 if you're struggling against Bommel and you don't have some of the solo strategies available to you. But let's get something cooler. Maybe I just need to take another swig of Pepsi, because that is rare tax. Ew. Come on, Plarium. You can be nice. I've been doing some of these shard pull videos. Some of them have been okay. Some of them have not been that great. Let's do something really cool. Cormac is one of the worst epics in the game. He's really bad. Gorlos is not too bad. He can be used in some of the Sand Devil teams. They're now much more accessible. He's also a decreased defense champ, one of the only ones in Demon Spawn. So decent champ for Faction Wars. He actually does okay damage. He brings some burns as well, but a lot of Demon Spawns bring burn. Chani, not that great. Alrighty. Come on. We want gold. That is a Hell Freak, not a Helicath. I would not be upset with a duplicate Helicath, because he is awesome. And that's duplicate Demon Spawn. Sachi, okay rare. She has, or okay, epic, I should say. She has a revive when she kills somebody. For a while, it was one of the only revives in that faction. Not a great champ overall. And that's another Juliana. We've got a couple of them. Maybe I should actually empower one of them. And we are done. So we have no shards left on this account. We got one new rare, a couple of epics to empower. Yeah, you know, not the greatest shard pull. Let's see where we're at with the Champ Chase tournament. Oh, actually, that does remind me, before I go there, we do actually have a summon pool pull. So let us do this summon pool pull as well. I would love a Wallmaster. I would love another Armans. I would actually love another Michinaki. I don't have a Brogni. I would love a Hefrak as well. Corvus. And I would really like a Rhodos. So 7 out of these 8 legendaries would be awesome. We got a 6% chance. Do be aware that Polarium apparently is going to start putting a Mercy into these summon pools soon. So Unfortunately, it will automatically pull these if I don't pull them right now, so I want to pull them myself. I think that's more fun. But for people that actually want to spend money on these things and don't because of the lack of mercy, they are going to be adding a mercy at the next patch. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what they do there. Apparently, they will also let you lean towards getting one of the champions you actually want from this, but only once. So that's kind of cool, actually. They're actually listening to some feedback occasionally. That is actually good to see that Plarium actually is continuing to listen to feedback. So let's pull. And that's an allure. You know, empowering allure, not too bad. She's a very useful champion. I do not use her for Fire Knight anymore because I'm doing hard Fire Knight, but she is really, really good still in, well, what's it called? Dark Fae. That's right, Dark Fae. Yeah, she is really good against Dark Fae, and so I use her in those teams, and it'll be nice to empower her. So it's certainly nice to have. She's also useful still in Faction Wars, can be useful against some of the floors and Centrinos as well. All right, so with that, let's go check where I'm at with the Champ Chase. We did not make it all the way to the top. That is fine. I would not mind getting this book, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have a chance to do a couple more things. I will leave these rewards sitting here, and we'll hop over to the alt, or actually we'll hop over the main. This is the alt, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Alrighty, we are back on the main. We have 2 shards worth of pulls. We are hopefully going to get something cool. Obviously, there is no mercy, so there's never a guarantee with this, but let's give it a try. Yeah, and pretty much the same want list, you know, slightly less exciting for most of the Legos here, because I do have a lot of them on this account, but you know what? I will take any one of the Legos other than Corvus. And those are 2 not Legos. Tagore is pretty good. He is one of the better revivers now. Yeah, he's got the reviver with the shield, and he doesn't need to revive with this ability because he places a chunky shield, which is actually not too bad. For as far as revives that could activate themselves when you don't want them to, this is not bad. All right, so I have 224 shards. I think I'm going to pull to 150 of them, so I'm going to leave 74 shards. So we will see where we're at with that. I will try to keep track. I'll have to check out every once in a while. And we'll see where we go from there. Maybe I'll pull a little bit more. Maybe I will not. But I would certainly love another Harima to empower my Harima on this account. And let's get pulling. Thank you. Frostbringer still does not bring the frost. Ripper doesn't really rip too much. Nothing really exciting here, although at least we did get 2 epics on the first one. That's good. These are the 20. Missionary, not really that exciting. 30. That is Bonekeeper. Not particularly great. Another Shaman clone. Seneschal, okay. Lethlin, okay. Hexia can actually hit really hard for single target, but honestly not a great champion worth building. Some people really like Seneschal. I tried using him and could not find any good use for him. He just, the provokes were single target, and the rest of his kit was just not super useful. Alrighty. We're on the 4th pull, so 40. Oops, so far we have not gotten rare tax so far, so that is great. Nagoyo actually can hit really, really hard. I really like this dude. He's worth building. I talked about Armina. I don't really care for her. 4. So this is the 50th. So pretty sure this is the 50th. I will go back and check. Because apparently I can only count to 4. That was the 50th. Alrighty. So let's keep on going. We're at least getting a ton of epics, which is great for points. Husk is amazing. He's really good in Hydra. He's really useful in Faction Wars. He can be useful in a couple of other places in the teams as well. He can be useful for some of the more difficult Spider floors as well if you're progressing through Spider because of his max HP hit as well. Aothar does a lot of poisons. Probably okay for Clan Boss. Again, don't care for Seneschal. All right. 60. Burn Gary is awesome. Ursine Ice Crusher is not particularly exciting. I like Burn Gary. He's not the greatest epic in the faction, but he's very, very good. He's got a 40% chance, bookable to 60% chance of stunning, which is great. He also has a strength and a shield on everybody. This is huge, reducing damage. The provoke on the A1, not a great chance, although it's bookable to 45%. He also has this wonderful heals by 50% when anybody dies, and that makes him very good. He can actually solo some of the Bommel floors early on. He can't, it's really hard for it to get him to do some of the top ones without some really, really good gear. But, you know, he's a good entry level for that. But because he stays alive very well and brings all this other protection, he's very good in Faction Wars, and I like him in Faction Wars. He's one of the champions I look for if I do Faction Wars takeovers for Shadowkin. So that is 70, so let's keep on going. Grizzle Jarl's okay. Balthus Druglord, not so great. Sakara, okay. Nothing really exciting here. We're on to the 90 pull. We are due a legendary, hopefully anytime soon. Jurgen, not great. Steel Skull, there's a legendary, and that is a Rosh card. Ooh, I do not have a Rosh card. Rosh card is absolutely amazing. Now, to be fair, I don't know if I'm going to need him on this account anymore because I've got the Emic build for Shogun, but Rosh card is great for, not sure Shogun, for Iron Twins. But Rosh card is great for Iron Twins. He is great for Clan Boss. He's actually a really good champion, and there's a good chance I may still build him because he will have some utility in the Curse City for me, most likely. He's an HP-based champion, which is nice because there's not a lot of them. He does okay-ish damage. A1 has a chance of removing random buff. You're not going to build him with accuracy, most likely. Although it depends. Attacks one enemy, block active skills, and block buffs. Not the worst skill in the world for 2 turns here. And cannot be resisted, though. So, you know what? You don't need the accuracy anyway. So this is not that bad, actually, given it needs no accuracy. That's actually very helpful. But what he is known for is a 4-turn cooldown, block damage for 2 turns. And then he's got an HP in all battles by 33%. Great, great champion. He's certainly been power crept a little bit by champions like Helikath, who have more other damage and utility beyond just the block damage. But honestly, this A1, this A2 right here, 100% chance without a resistance, doesn't even need to be booked to get it down to a 4-turn cooldown. It'll be booked to be down to a 3-turn cooldown, but doesn't need books to land. So the only thing you really need to drop is 2 books in here, and you are good to go. If you happen to get 4 books in here, you're not really complaining. Good champion overall. Very good for clan boss, although for clan boss, I would turn this off. Very good for Iron Twins as well. I am not going to complain because that is a new legendary on this account, and I like new legendaries. So we were pulling down to, so we've got 60 left to pull. So, all right, let's see if we can get another legendary in 60, and then maybe we'll see if we've had enough or we want to pull a few more shards, because I know everybody wants to pull more shards. I just don't want to leave myself bare on this account, and I don't have a lot of other shards at the moment, so. And there's the rare tax after we just had legendary. Got 50 more. Let's go. Alika, not super exciting. Already. 3 more to go. Got 3 more 10 pulls after this. And that's another rare tax. Oh, come on, Blarium. You were being so good with the epics beforehand. There's a Warden, not super exciting. There's another legendary, and that's a Wallmaster. That's awesome. Yes. Awesome. Now, that is my 3rd Wallmaster, but Wallmaster is an absolute beast of a champion. So I may keep a 3rd Wallmaster. I'm not sure. I may end up just empowering him. I will double check where my faction guardians are in elves. But Wallmaster is great because he's got an attack all enemies and fills his turn meter by 5% for each living enemy after the attack. So he gets some turn meter boost from this. This is a max HP hit that's a double hit. It's not a very, very huge max HP hit, so it's definitely hard to gear him to max this up. But the fact that it's a double hit max HP means you can certainly do more than the 10% cap single hit max HP, even if you're not going to do the full 20% because you're not capping it both times. And then finally, he has a increase attack, increase accuracy, increase speed on himself, then grants an extra turn. This can be problematic in Hydra because it makes him a mischief target. You can certainly build him with resistance if you want to, but since you want it to do a ton of damage, I would probably either just turn this off, or if you're going to manual it, you don't use it when you have mischief around. If you do decide to use it, the best way to program it is to have him lead off with this skill and then do this afterwards. You lose out a little bit on the very first increase attack, but what ends up happening is the cooldown on this skill gets dropped by 1. So this effectively becomes almost a every 2-turn cooldown skill. This books to 4 turns, this books to 3 turns. So if he does this, this is a 3-turn. He does this, it's on a 2-turn cooldown. And then, you know, basically that's eventually how it ends up cycling. So it's nice overall. I love this champion. He has really, really helped me a lot. The other thing he does do is he's an attack-based champion, but his max HP goes up every time he kills somebody or decapitates a head, maximum up to 50k extra HP. So you can build him a little bit squishy, and he takes a little bit of time to ramp up, but eventually he ramps up with so much max HP that he's one of the tankiest attack champions in the game. Really outside of a Rotos, who's more of an HP attack hybrid. So very, very good champion. Great in Hydra. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one, but it's a blessing of riches because, again, I have 2 of them that are fully built, and I used both of them in Hydra so far. I don't think I'm going to need a third, so I think I might just empower one, but that's still A-okay because that's going to give me some additional attack and some additional other stats. And to be fair, he is difficult to build because you want the accuracy for this skill as well because you want the decreased attack and you want the block buffs. You can actually use them to replace an Ugo if you do that right with enough accuracy. So you know what, that extra 10% of everything, an extra 10 points of resistance and accuracy will make a huge, huge difference. So I will probably end up empowering one. So where are we at? We are 94. We should have 20 left to pull. You know, we'll pull the 20 more, and I think we are good to go because I've now got 2 legendaries, and I'm super excited because this has been pretty cool. I have gotten 2 new legendaries on my accounts, and then I've gotten another Wallmaster. So I will not complain at all about this. Hopefully Plarium sees fit to give us something really cool, and if not, I'm going to be really happy. And I guess I'm going to be really happy. You know, always not quite so fun to end on a lower note, but you know what? We weren't that far away from pulling Wallmaster. That is absolutely awesome. Where are we at with... let's see the champion chase. That may make a difference. All right. I think I want to go for this. So we're going to pull a few more shards. So we'll pull 10 and check and 10 and check. So I have 1,500-ish points I need. And, oh, actually, I don't think I need to do that. And here's why, and this is going to be good for you guys, excuse me, as well. Too much Pepsi, I guess. So one of the things you can do to earn these points, and keep in mind there is a CVC coming, although CVC is going to be not personal rewards, at least as far as I'm aware, this next coming week. You can fuse some of these guys for additional points. So these are 250 points each to fuse, so that's 750 points, and then he's going to be an additional 500 points. So I can get close and then get the rest by pulling these guys as well. So let's do another 10 pull and see what happens. This is the worst case scenario for doing a single more 10 pull. So we'll do another 10 pull. That'll keep me with 50 some odd shards. And hopefully there's at least an epic. Cloud Beast Feeder, not a bad champion. All right. So with that, we should now be at... Yep. just short of 1,000 more. You know what? I'm going to pick one more 10 pull. And, you know what? Let's not, because I can do everything else, and we'll get this top thing, and that'll be fine. I don't really care where I place on this. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting some additional gear here, but I think I'm going to be wise and save some of my shards, because that's the responsible thing to do. 50 is still not a ton of shards, but it's enough to pull for an event if something comes up that could be interesting. It means if I decide I need to spend for an event, I'm not like doing it from broke. I don't think I'm going to be spending on any event anytime soon. But I do not regret pulling those extra 20 shards, and you know what? It's going to be worth it for a big old soulstone. So hopefully you guys have had some good luck. I'm not going to say this is the greatest luck, but you know what? Again, I got 2 brand new legendaries and a duplicate of a champion I really, really wanted. Did not get a Harima, but you know what? Hopefully you guys can get a Harima. If you guys are interested in having me pull your shards, I'm actually good at pulling Harimas. I've pulled 4 of them on 2 different accounts. And I will be streaming tomorrow. So tomorrow being CatHerder for most of you guys. I guess it will be today by the time this video is going to go live. Usually streaming from around 11 Central till 3 Central. So should be online around those times on Twitch TV. You can check out the link below. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you hanging out. And hopefully your shard pulls are great. And if you want me to pull your shards and get lucky for you, well, that is awesome as well. So you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. Hope you're enjoying things. Hope you enjoyed the video. Till the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.